Namaste. In this video, we'll try to learn to search for an Scopus author profile or Scopus publications. Also, we'll try to know the Scopus author ID, to create the ORCiD if already not created, and also we'll try to understand the Web of Science publications. We know that the Scopus is the world's largest abstract and citation database of peer-reviewed research literature, and it is a free author lookup to search for any author to view publications indexed under Scopus. In order to search the Scopus author, type Scopus author search in the Google search engine. You'll observe this particular link, Scopus author ID. Click that link. You'll observe a search page on the Scopus website where there are options available to search: last name, first name, the affiliation, and ORCiD. You'll also see in this video how to create ORCiD if it is not already available. So let's begin with the search. Last name I'll type, first name, let us search. In the Scopus author profile search, you'll observe there is one author with, let's say, 16 documents under Scopus publications. So we are going to click this in order to see the author profile. We can see here the ORCiD is already created. Suppose we do not have ORCiD, so let's see how to create an ORCiD. We can register for our unique ORCiD, and this ID can be useful for fetching the Scopus profile to import our records. To begin with, let's type ORCiD in the Google search engine. You will observe there is ORCiD org. Click it. You will observe if you do not have ORCiD, then register by clicking register now, where you need to provide the simple details. I will show you my ORCiD which is already created. This is my ORCiD. So this we can log in and add details about the name, how it should appear, and some biography, so on and so forth. You'll also observe there is a Scopus ID here. If I click this, it takes you to the Scopus profile, and from Scopus profile you can go back to your ORCiD, something like this. If you click here ORCiD, it will take you to ORCiD profile. Remember, the Scopus publications are automatically indexed here. From Scopus you can go to ORCiD, from ORCiD you can go to Scopus. Let us try to understand what is the advantage of having ORCiD. You can fetch all your publications under Scopus using ORCiD. You can fetch all your publications of Web of Science using ORCiD. As I said, we can use ORCiD profile to fetch our Scopus publications. Let's see how to do it. If you observe here, there is clearly written, if you have registered for ORCiD, you can use ORCiD to fetch Scopus publications records, okay, from ORCiD. So let us click here, import your records. It is a very simple interface to fetch the publications, Scopus publications using ORCiD. You will find a button called Start. Then we have to log in into ORCiD, because the records we have to fetch from ORCiD. So let me log in into my ORCiD. Earlier profile you were able to see without login, but now I have logged in so that I can modify the records, and I can fetch the Scopus publications under Scopus profile using ORCiD. So as you can observe here, you could see there is one entry of a particular Scopus author profile, and I would like to fetch the publications from ORCiD, so I'll say next. Once we see next, then you can see there are 4-5 steps to be followed, and here we'll observe different variations in the name. I would choose this, and then I'll say go to the next step, where you can verify all publications which for which you are one of the authors. Only those publications we should select. So you'll observe these are the publications under Scopus profile, and I agree to it that these are all belongs to my author profile, and I am one of the authors. So once this is done, then we can say we can go to the next publication step, that is review profile. So next, so I'm just reviewing that as an author, Varma Satish Kumar, these are the publications along with students and guide, for example. And the next step is we'll send these details to the Scopus. So we click here, and then in order to verify, it asks that enter your email ID just to cross verify, and then you enter, let's say, email ID, and then you go to send these author IDs from ORCiD including to the Scopus profile for publications, and we say okay, and this is done. Yeah, I'm currently not using this. In order to confirm, it is saying again type your email ID. So this was a step to include or fetch all your Scopus publications from ORCiD to your Scopus profile. Now, in order to know the publications under Web of Science, we'll use Publon to do so. If you have account in Publon, that's fine. Otherwise, you have to register and create your account. Remember, all your Web of Science publications, in order to fetch under Publon, we need ORCiD. So we have already created ORCiD, and that ORCiD will be useful to fetch all our Web of Science publications under our Publon profile. As you can see here, I have already created my account under Web of Science using this particular website, and as you can observe here, the number of publications, citations, so on and so forth. You can log in into your Web of Science and you can fetch your Web of Science publications using ORCiD. Now finally, let us try to understand how to use wildcard to search Scopus profile. Suppose the name is VARME or VERME. It might happen that sometimes we may write VERMA or VARMA. So if we search this VARMA, which we have already seen, you'll observe there are 16 documents under Scopus publication. But let us see whether we have any publication under VERMA, because sometimes due to spelling mistakes. So you observe here there is one more publication which is authored by me along with my student. So you'll observe that I ensure that this is my publication, and you observe that this is has to be added along with that. So how to merge two different Scopus profiles? So I know that there is VERMA Satish Kumar and VARMA Satish Kumar. How to add those both profiles? I have not yet added, and I am using this video now to demonstrate you. So I'll use wildcard, that is called star. So star. So at star we can have A or E or any other. So this particular search engine will help to find all those possible combinations, starting with V, ending with RMA. So you will observe here, I could see that this particular publication is also my profile, and this, the third one, last one, is also my profile. In order to ensure this, we can just see the title, and then we can ensure that yeah, I'm author of this paper as well. So there is a term called request to merge. If you select only one, it will not show you this particular option, but if you select two, provided these both authors are same, so you click request to merge, and then we'll find the wizard. So this is I'm doing for the first time. Okay, so it ensures, and it also says these are the possible names that will be included under the profile. Okay, so I'll say request, view request, and then it says okay fine, submit request. This will directly go to the Scopus and request ID, and then we can view the request, or we can come back to the Scopus page, and later on it will get merged with the publication. So I should see 17 documents in total next time. There is another method of wildcard search. Suppose we are not sure about what all characters that are used in between. So I might use question mark as well. Okay, I might use question mark as well. So what is the difference between the question mark and star? I would like to show on one page. Look at here. This is the Elsevier service where it shows the wildcard search method. When you use star, as you can clearly see here, so you are not sure about it, is it John or Jonathan and so on and so forth, that can be clearly explored or searched using star. But when you use question mark, as you can see here, you can have different characters at a particular place. So star may give you all possible characters thereafter. The star you can use also in between. So these are the possibilities. We can write here like this, and it can help you to search. So these are the possible things. Another possibility which I said star, when I say star means thereafter all possible things that you can find. So these are the two possible ways you can actually find the search profiles. Sometimes you will find difficulties in order to find these search profiles. So this is called wildcard search method. You can use star or you can use question mark accordingly, if you are not sure about the spelling that you might have written in your publication as an author. So that's all from this video. Hope this video is useful to you. Thank you.